Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna dear devotees and pranams. Thank you for joining in for our Ramayana study session today. Let's start with the prayers. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuddha Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakaanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim Yatkrapātamaham vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramanandamadavam Sri Krishna Chaitanyamishwaram Harihi Om Tatsat Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Taralaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you for joining in for our Ramayana study session. Today we are continuing with Yuddha Kand. Hanumanji comes to Lord Ram, shows the jewel that Sita Devi had given, and Lord Ram became so pleased with Hanumanji that he actually embraces Hanumanji, and they are now preparing for war. So how does it all happen? The details will be given here. When they are returning, they're all very happy, right? Hanuman headed by Angada and all the Vanaras who went in the southern direction. They're all very happy. They have won in their mission of finding Sita Devi. They also got the jewel from Sita Devi. I'm going to give it to Lord Ram. So what is happening here? When they are coming back, they come to Madhuvan forest. This forest is guarded by a general called Dadi Mukha. Right? When Dadi Mukha is also a Vanara. Right? And then when this Dadi Mukha actually finds all these monkeys are enjoying themselves. Right? And he goes and complains to Sugriva. And Sugriva is very happy to hear the news, because how would Angada and Hanumanji all enjoy so much when Rama and Sugriva are in so much anxiety? So it could only be because they have been successful in their mission. So when Dadimukha goes and tells Sugriva is so happy. He tells, okay, ask Angada and Hanumanji and all the Vanaras to come here. And he also in the meanwhile goes and tells Lakshman and Lord Ram about the return of Angada and Hanumanji and the entire Vanara Sena from the southern direction, and that they must have found Mother Sita. Why? Because they are celebrating in Madhuvan forest, like that. Okay, so let's continue reading. The Madhuvan forest was guarded by a Vanara general named Dadimukha. When he saw that thousands of monkeys were tearing down the trees and taking the honey, he became infuriated. He dispatched a number of guards to stop them. Accosted by the guards, the monkeys in Angada's party laughed and fought with them. They took hold of the guards by their legs and dragged them about. Others they tossed into the air and slapped around on their palms. Yeah, so this is they've decided to enjoy for a little while after the hard work that was done. Of course, Hanuman did the hard work, but all of them were waiting near the ocean to see if what Hanumanji is returning. So now it's a time for celebration. So they're all going to the forest that is Madhuvan, that is guarded by Dadimukha. And in this way, let's see what happens. Okay, Karpagavali Mataji, go ahead. Please read. When even Dadimukha himself was beaten by Angada.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Am I audible, Mataji? Am I audible, Mataji? Am I
Welcome to
audible?
Signetize. You are ready to rock. Bluetooth mode.
Am I audible? Am I audible, Mataji?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Mataji, am I audible?
When even Dadimuka himself was beaten by Angada from there. Hare Krishna. Mataji, you're not audible. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, I don't know. Mataji has got frozen. Okay,
And
fine.
Daddy Maga told the monkey king how Angada's orchard and party have done.
Mataji, are you reading? Hari Bol?
Mataji, no, suddenly it became unmute. Ababa,
Yes.
upon hearing this report, the intelligent Sugriva became joyful. He turned and spoke to Lakshman, who was by his side. There was no doubt that Angada's party has returned successful. Oh, noble Lakshman, my guess is that Hanuman has found Sita. These monkeys could not make so bold with my grove and its honey had they failed in their mission. Lakshman rejoiced and ran to tell Rama the news. Sugriva told Dakimuga that in, that he should tolerate the misbehavior of the search party and send the monkeys to Krishkinda. The Dakimuga bowed to Sugriva and left at once. Realizing that Hanuman had accomplished a great service to the king, he felt gladdened. As he raced back to the Madhuvan with Sugriva's message, he forgot all about beating he had received. Back in the orchard, he saw all monkeys, who by now became sober, standing out urinating on the trees. He shouted out Angada and bowed before him. Please forgive me, O prince. I should not have tried to restrain you. Sugriva very much desires to see you, and Hanuman, please go there with all speed. Angada spoke kindly to Dagimuga. Then he raised his arm and shouted to the other monkeys, all right, let us now go to the Kishkinda. Sugriva and Rama are expecting us. Sugriva awaited their arrival eagerly. He was sure that they had succeeded. It had been almost 3 months since their departure. There was no possibility that Angada would have returned if he had failed. The monkey king reassured Rama, who was expressing deep anxiety over Sita. Rama looked upon with tear-stained eyes and Sugriva. This was their last chance. All the other parties had returned without success. What if Angada group had also failed? Rama sat by Sugriva, anxiously waiting Angada's news. Suddenly they heard cries in the distance and saw a cloud of dust arising upwards as Angada and his party reached toward Kishkinda. Sugriva stretched out, curled his tail in joy. He saw Angada and Hanuman at the head of the party, bounding swiftly toward him. They appeared like thundering clouds driven along by the wind. Within a few minutes, they had arrived and was prostrating themselves before Sugriva and Rama. Hanuman sat before Rama with folded arms. My lord, Sita has been found, he said. Tears sprang to Rama's eyes. He jumped up and said eagerly, tell me everything about that godly lady. Oh, gallant one, is she well? Where is she? Where indeed is that wicked wretch Ravana? With Angada's permission, Hanuman related everything to Rama and Sugriva, describing in detail how he had jumped across the ocean and wrought havoc in Lanka. He told them how Sita was pinning for Rama and would not even look at Ravana. He then gave Sita's message to Rama along with their ornament. Rama took Sita's yellow jewel from Hanuman. He pressed it onto his bosom and wept softly. Comforted by Lakshman, he said, even as a cow sheds milk upon seeing its calf, oh, my heart melts upon seeing this jewel. It originally belonged to Indra and was given to Sita by King Janaka. By seeing this brilliant gem, I have directly gained sight of my noble father-in-law as well as my beloved wife Sita. Uh, Rama spoke on Hanuman to repeat Sita's speech again. He was pinned to learn of her sorry plight and felt words to be his only consolation. The monkey star narrated to Rama his entire conversation with Sita. He then stopped speaking. Rama sat silently for some time, absorbed in thoughts of Sita. At last he said to Hanuman, "You have accomplished a great deed, dear Hanuman. None but Garuda or the wind god himself could have achieved this feat. Who could leap across the expanse of ocean? Who, having once entered Lanka as an enemy, would ever hope to emerge alive? You are a first-class servant to a monkey who have achieved all that was asked of you and more." Praising Anma in various ways, and Rama lamented that he could, how could he and millions of monkeys across the ocean? He again felt despondent and asked Sugriva if he had any ideas. The monkey replied, "In my opinion, a bridge could be constructed across the ocean. There is no need to lament. We now know Sita's whereabouts, and we have been amazed in an army that is more than capable of annihilating the demands. I am confident, for I perceive my many good omens, and my feels delighted." After hearing Sugriva speak, Rama became determined. He said to Rama, "The monkeys, I'm surely able to either by the mystic power I had acquired through asceticism, by throwing a bridge over it, or by tying it up with my fiery arrows. O Hanuman, tell us of Lanka's fortification and defenses, for we shall soon arrive there for battle." Hanuman described everything he had seen in Lanka. The city was atop a great mountain thickly covered with forest. At the edge of the city was a wide moat invested with alligators. All around Lanka were vast ramparts with steel barred drawn bridges and gates. Hordes of Rakshasas prowled about the ramparts, holding spike clubs which could kill 100 warriors with a single blow. Great catapults were lined along the defensive walls, as well as machines which would fire blazing iron darts at a distance of 10 miles. Ravana's forces were all about, but unlimited in number. They were highly trained and could use every kind of weapon, and they remained constantly alert into any danger. They had already had enough time to repair the damage caused by Hanuman, and would now be especially vigilant, expecting Rama's attack. When Hanuman finished speaking, Rama said fearlessly, "Without delay, I shall destroy this great city of Lanka. Let us immediately prepare to depart. This is the auspicious midday or favorable constellations augur our success." Having abducted Sita, the despicable Ramana shall not escape with his life.
Hare
Sugriva
Krishna.
warmly
Thank you,
applauded.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mother.
Haribol. So this is very wonderful that Hanumanji is. It said that Hanumanji took the permission of Angada and he explained everything to Lord Ram. So there is always this Vaishnava etiquette, right? We should not try to surpass our gurus as we're ending service, right? Hanumanji, in fact, did the entire task of jumping across the ocean and went to Lanka, found Mother Sita, destroyed the entire greater part of Lanka, got the jewel from Mother Sita and brought it here. But yet, he had to take the permission of Angada, because Angada is the leader of the party, right? So, we may be equipped by Guru and Gauranga to perform various services. But even though we are performing wonderful services, we should never forget the Vaishnava etiquette. It is never okay to surpass our Guru and show that I have done all the job. Right? That is not what Hanuman is doing here. Hanuman took the permission of Angada. Okay, may I narrate to Lord Ram everything that has happened? And after taking permission from Angada as part of the Vaishnava etiquette, then only he narrates everything to Lord Ram. And of course, Lord Ram is overjoyed to see that the jewel of Mother Sita, and they decide to cross over Lanka. And Hanumanji is also, like we discussed yesterday, Hanumanji is also not just doing what he was told, but he is also exceeding the expectations. Right? He was only asked to find Sita. But what did he also do? He found the various entry and exit points. As he went about burning Lanka, he saw the various places where a proper attack could be launched, etc. So in this way, like Lord Ram also mentioned to Hanumanji and glorified Hanumanji, saying that not only have you done what I have told you, but you have also done everything a lot more. In this way, you pleased us, like that. And then immediately, Lord Ram wants to build a bridge. And the monkey says, we need to build a bridge. But Lord Ram says, I can swallow the entire water and I can immediately reach Lanka. So let's see what do they discuss now. What is the step forward? How they're going to wage a war against Ravana, and how they are going to capture Ravana and retrieve Mother Sita. Okay, let's move ahead. Anyone else wants to read? You can raise your hand. Sugriva warmly applauded Rama, who then began issuing orders. He asked Sugriva's commander and troops, Nila, to lead an advance party out to Kishkinda. They should prepare the way for the whole army, ensuring that no hostile troops lay in ambush. Only the most powerful monkeys should go, as a difficult task lay ahead. Rama personally named the best monkey warriors: Gaja, Gavaya, Gandhamadana, Rishabha, Dvivida, Mainda, and others. Then he said, mounting Hanuman's back, I myself shall go, even as Indra rides upon his elephant Airavata. I shall march in the center of the army, cheering the troops as they rush like a flood. Lakshman should mount Angada's back, as Kuvera would ride upon the elephant Sarabhama, who guards the eastern quarter of the universe. Sugriva bowed to Lord Ram and then gave detailed instructions to his monkeys. Gradually, the many millions of powerful monkeys moved off in a southerly direction. Springing and bounding in joy, they proceeded swiftly like masses of clouds driven by a gale. They rode and shouted their determination. We will slaughter Ravana and the Rakshasas. Not one shall survive. Okay, Krishnamurti Prabhu, go ahead. The monkeys sportingly lifted from there.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Pranam. Yes, Prabhu.
The monkeys sportingly lifted and tossed each other around. They left up trees and hills and jumped upon one another's backs. As they pressed forward, they roared like the tremulous ocean. At the rear of the monkeys came Jambavan and his contingent of bears. In the midst of them, all were Rama and Lakshmana, seated upon the backs of Hanuman and Angada. They looked like the sun and moon, conjoined with Jupiter and Venus and surrounded by innumerable stars. Lakshmana spoke to his elder brother. The omens are all good, Rama. A gentle breeze follows us and the sun shines brightly. The beasts and birds run and fly along with us. This army of monkeys and bears are growing in joy and they are ablaze with splendor. In the night skies, I have observed numerous auspicious patterns. Undoubtedly, your success is imminent, dear brother. Rama smiled. He rocked about on the back of Hanuman, who was racing ahead with swift steps. The vast party raised an enormous dust cloud which screamed the sky. They were like a continuous line of clouds covering the heavens. When they crossed the rivers, the currents floated backward for many miles. Bounding through lakes, they caused them to overflow and flood the surrounding land. They broke down the trees and smashed rocks, hardly wandering their powers on one another, traveling by day and night, and they quietly approached the southern shore of the sea. When they reached the ocean, Rama spoke to Sugriva, Here lies the vast sea. O valiant monkey, this lord of the rivers cannot be crossed easily. Some device is required. Let us camp here and deliberate upon our next course of action. When the army comes down and onto the beach of the stretched for miles, like the second ocean, it created a noise that drowned out of roar of the sea as the monkeys discussed how to reach Lanka. None was capable of emulating Hanuman's incredible leap. The Vanaras and bears started out the tossing waves, wondering that Rama and Sugriva would decide to do next. Chapter 2, Panic in Lanka.
Yes, Prabhu. Go ahead. Moshmi Mataji can read after me. Yes.
Okay. In Lanka, Ravana has assembled his ministers for a full council meeting. Seeing the terrible damage and destruction wrought by Hanuman, the demon spoke to his advisors. This city, which we previously thought unaccessible, has been penetrated and reckoned by a mere monkey. My gardens are destroyed. Our temple has been outraged, and some of the topmost Rakshasas have been slain, including my own son, Prince Aksha. Indeed, that wretched monkey has single-handedly turned the city upside down. Ravana looked around all at his advice. He asked him to carefully deliberate and then decide on on the next course of action. The Daman king was apprehensive. He was sure that Rama and his army would somehow cross the ocean before long, and Hanuman's demonstration of strength and power had been astonishing if the rest of the monkeys were like him. Ravana continued, I am depending upon you, your advice, O Rakshasas. It is said that he is a wise person who, before an undertaking, seeks the counsel of learned persons versed in scripture. However, he who simply acts without the consideration and advice will quietly come ruin. The demons' kings, generals were all powerful, but they lacked intelligence and political wisdom. Without understanding the full extent of power of the Vanara forces, they spoke of them derisively. The Rakshasas boasted their own prowess, dismissing Rama and his army as being of no consequence. They reminded Ravana how he had defeated the gods, Gandharvas, Yakshas, Nagas, Daityas, Danavas, and other foes in battle. Ravana had even repulsed death himself. What fear could he have of any army of humans and animals? One of the mightiest Rakshasas, Prasta, stood up and, with his palms folded toward Ravana, he spoke in a voice that boomed like thunder. We are caught unaware of Hanuman, who sneaked into Lanka. Had I been prepared for him, then that monkey would not have left this city alive. Indeed, I can sweep the entire globe clean of monkeys in no time at all. Simply command me, O Lord. Another powerful Rakshasa and Virupaksha stood up and spoke fiercely, holding aloft the plateful iron dragon which was stained with flesh and blood. How can we tolerate this monkey's apparent? Order me, and I will leave his very power. I will smash Rama and Lakshmana with my iron club and crush the entire monkey army. Even if they flee into the deep of the deep or take refuge in the heavens, they shall not escape by my wrath. One Rakshasa
Thank you,
suggested that.
Prabhu. Hari
Okay,
Bol.
thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Pranam. Thank you. So we see here empty vessels make most noise, isn't it? They were all there when Hanumanji was actually ripping the entire Lanka apart and burning the entire Lanka. They were all there. But what are they saying now? Simply, they are, they are pretending to be not aware of Hanuman's strength. If one monkey could create so much of havoc, and there are millions and millions of monkeys like that, and headed by Lord Ram himself, right? So they were just trying to, like Duryodhana did in Kurukshetra war. He was explaining what is the strength of my party. My party is more strong because it's guarded by Bhishma Pitamaha, whereas the Pandavas party is very weak, being guided by Bhima. So, like all of that, various diplomatic statements are being issued here, simply to encourage their own strength. Actually, they have lost all their strength and they are being very fearful. It is a diplomatic way to encourage oneself when one is extremely when one is extremely clear that we are going to lose and there is nothing more that can be done, right? But they are forgetting the prowess of the enemy. One monkey had ripped apart the entire Lanka, and they are talking about their own prowess. What happened when the monkey came there and ripped apart the entire city like that? Okay, let's move ahead. Yes, Maushmi Mataji, go ahead. One Rakshasa suggested.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Yes, Mataji.
Can you hear?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Even if they flee
One
into
Rakshasa
the
suggested there.
from that. One Rakshasa suggested that they employ trickery, disguising themselves as humans and infiltrating Rama's army. They could pretend to be a contingent dispatched by Rama's brother Bharat. Once they entered his army, the rest of the Rakshasas could attack from the air. The Vanara army would then be torn to be pieces by a two-pronged assault, both from within and without. One after another, each of the leading Rakshasas declared that he alone could defeat Rama and his troops. Ravana should remain peacefully in Lanka. The demons, the demons' forces would swiftly cross the ocean and
Annihilate the monkeys.
annihilate the monkeys before they could even approach the city. Standing together, the Rakshasas generally raised a great tumult in Ravana's assembly hall. They grabbed their grasped their
Grasp their bows, arrows,
arrows, spears,
spears,
picks,
pikes,
spears,
javelins.
picks, javelins, and iron masses, and asked Ravana for his order to depart for battle. Mm, uh,
Vibhishana.
while Vibhishana, Ravana's younger brother, then stood up as the clamor of the other demands died down. He spoke to Ravana. The wise declared that force should only be used after other methods of achieving one's aim have failed. Furthermore, force is said to be likely to succeed only when the army is weaker, devoid of virtue, or condemned by their own adverse fate. Rama is ever alert and possesses boundless might. He is virtue incarnate and is assisted by every divine power. No one would know what is best would conceal an attack upon Rama. By
Right. Thank you, Mataji.
Vibhishana,
Very good. Thank you, Mataji.
Hari-
So, Kale Viparita Buddhi, they say, right? So, when the time is wrong, or when the time of destruction is coming, or when time for misery is coming, then Viparita Buddhi, our intelligence will take the wrong course of direction, or we will be guided, will not be guided by proper intelligence, and will take the wrong decision. So, Vibhishana is the only sane person in Ravana's kingdom, right? And in his palace only it is written Rama. It is written, then, when Ravana comes and asks, Vibhishana is very intelligent, he tells him, it refers to Ravana Mandodari. But actually, he is actually continuously chanting the names of Lord Ram. That is the reason his palace, Ashoka Vatika, and Ravana's own palace, these were the only three things that were left. All the other places of Lanka were actually burnt by a single monkey, right? Who is, of course, Hanumanji. Right? So in this case, Vibhishana is saying only an idiot or only a fool will actually listen to the advice of attacking a person who's ever alert, who's the virtue incarnate, and who's the divine source of power. Right? One person in his army was able to cause so much of havoc. So we should be little more intelligent. We should think through before we actually start attacking Lord Ram, like that he's saying, right? Because he knows that nobody can defeat Lord Ram, right? Rake Krishne mare Krishne Rake ke. If you fight a war against Lord Ram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, of course, it will be the loss for the party who is actually fighting against Lord Ram, like that. Okay, anyone else wants to read? Okay, Rav Kishori Mataji, go ahead. Vibhishana was not like the other Rakshasas.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavats, yes.
Thank you, Mataji. Vibhishana was not like other Rakshasas. He did not share their inclination for for wanton living and violent behavior. Although he was Ravana's blood brother, Vibhishana was given to meditation and the practice of virtue. He also realized Rama's divine nature. He spoke gravely, intent on his brother's welfare. Have you forgotten how Rama disposed of Khara and his troops? Think carefully about Hanuman fate in leaping across the ocean and wrecking Lanka. Do not underestimate the power of Rama and his servants. Vibhishana advised Ravana to give Sita back to Rama. If he did not do so, then before long he would witness the total destruction of Lanka. All the heroic Rakshasas all the heroic Rakshasas would perish like moths entering a fire. Ravana should pursue the path of righteousness if he wanted to see his city and his followers survive. Ravana listened to his brother without comment. He did not like Vibhishana's advice, but it made him somewhat circumspect. The demon king then dismissed his assembly, saying he would decide the next day what should be done. The following day, at dawn, Vibhishana again approached Ravana. As he passed through the long wide passageways of Ravana's palace, he heard the sound of Vedic hymns being chanted by the Yadudhanas, blessing the Rakshasas king that he might attain victory. Vibhishana knew that Ravana was not going to achieve victory against Rama. He had to avert the total devastation of his people, which he now saw as imminent. Vibhishana entered Ravana's chambers and greeted his brother with gentle and soothing words. Ravana glanced over at an ornate golden seat, and Vibhishana sat down, looking intently upon his brother. Vibhishana had studied all the codes of religion. He knew what was right in every circumstance, and he now tendered beneficial advice to Ravana. Even since Sita was abducted, there have been numerous bad omens in Lanka. The sacrificial fire emits sparks and is enveloped by smoke. The cow's milk has dried up. Horses neigh dolefully, even though well fed and tended. Crows swarms about, uttering harsh cries. Jackals howl ominously day and night. Vibhishana described many other types of evil portent and again ask Ravanas to return Sita to Rama. This action alone will save you. All the others Rakshasas in the city from destruction. Vibhishana said, even if you find me in some way self-motivated, you should not ignore my advice. For doing so will have terrible consequences. Ravana said, shaking his head. He granted contemptuously and replied to his brother, how can Rama stand before me in battle? Under no circumstances shall I return Sita. Today in council mm, I shall issue order for battle. Vibhishana shook his head sorrowfully. It was hopeless. Ravana seems bent upon his own destructions. Ravana dismissed Vibhishana and sat brooding for a while. He had to leave. He had to have Sita. For the last 10 months, he had tried everything to win her over and was not going to give up now. If he could only kill Rama, then surely she would be won. But this Rama was no ordinary man. That much was obvious. And if the monkeys were all like Hanuman, then he had a real battle on his hands. No matter. There was no question of ignominious surrender. A fight to the last was the only thing acceptable. If Rama were a mere mortal man, then he would certainly succumb to the might of the Rakshasas. And if he were Vishnu himself, well, defeat at the hands of a powerful foe was never shameful. Ravana would not be crowed by any enemy. He would he would fight. The demon rose up and swept towards his assembly hall, followed by bards who uttered poems in his praise. Coming from his inner chambers, he mounted a golden chariot and sped down the wide road that led to the hall. He was surrounded all sides by Rakshasas attired in diversely styled robes and adorned with every kinds of jewel. These powerful Rakshasas capable of contending single-handedly with tens of thousands of warriors roared loudly. They held appraised weapons of every sort in their hands. As Ravana and his generals approached the hall, trumpets bled, conch shells blasted. Innumerable kettle drums were beaten as the demon king went through the great doorway into his hall. Ravana stood across the golden floor of the hall towards his crystal throne, which was sprayed with the skins of Priyanka deer. After taking his seat, he ordered that a full council of war be assembled. Immediately, swift messengers flew off to every part of the city, calling for all the Rakshasas leaders. Hearing Ravana's order, the mighty Rakshasas rushed towards the assembly hall from all directions. Some mounted great chariots, some rode elephants, and some others ran on foot. They quickly entered the assembly hall as lion might enter a rock mountain cave. After prostrating themselves before Ravana, they took their seats, each according to his rank. As they sat gazing on their ruler's face, they approached like the Vasus surrounding Indra.
Hare
Vibhishan
Krishna.
took his
Thank you,
seat.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Bol.
Krishna. Thank you
Hare
so much.
Krishna.
Dandavat pranam.
Vinashakale viparita buddhi. So in this way, Ravana is not heeding to the wise counsel of Vibhishan, and he is now declaring that there should be a war, and he is not willing to return Sita. So he is paving the way for his own destruction. So we'll continue this. What are the arrangements made by Ravana? And parallelly, what is happening from Rama's side? What is happening? And then we will also see how the bridge is constructed and how the war is fought and how Sita is reclaimed. So we'll meet tomorrow at 1:15 p.m. For continuing our Ramayana session, where we see how Ravana is paving his own way for his own destruction. And also, of course, we'll meet at 4:30 a.m. for our Brahma Muhurta chanting session, starting with the Shikshashtakam prayers. Please do join us on Zoom. Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya 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 Sita Ram Raghupati Raghav राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद गुरुदेव गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। निरंतरा श्रीमद रामायण की जय। सीता राम लक्ष्मण शत्रुघ्न हनुमान जी की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णवा वृंद की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा। Thank you, devotees. We'll meet tomorrow as we continue Ramayana. Danat pranams. Hari bol. Hare Krishna.